Redditors who have been diagnosed with autism, what are some common misconceptions or infuriating things that people say do to you? You don't look autistic. There's always gonna be someone that will try to mock you for your diagnosis. And there's always gonna be the people that make you feel worthless for something you can't control. Just keep pressing on. Surprised not to find it here, but mine is, oh, you're not autistic. I saw an autistic kid once. You're nothing like him. Or comparing autism. There's more variant of autism and Asperger than variant of languages in the world. Exaggeratio, but not by far. I mostly pass, so I don't tell people very often. What I find really weird is the idea I must be really good at math. But you can't be autistic. You're intelligent, verbal, capable of maintaining a professional career, able to make eye contact, not talking about trains at this present time, female. Well, for starters, the whole anti-vaxxer movement has done irreparable damage to people's perceptions of autism. The biggest ones I've noticed is that no one actually knows what autism is or what it does. Some seem to think it is a physical viral disease, and also they believe that there's more cases of it now than ever before. There is more diagnosis of it because we know more about it and can identify it at earlier ages now. People are generally shocked when I mention I'm autistic because I'm a successful, high-functioning individual who is good at my job. I have heard people say you don't look autistic, to which I usually respond by asking what an autistic person looks like. Don't talk with them because people with autism can't feel or express any emotion, happy or sad. Mostly it's the bodies of people who don't believe I need support just because I'm high-functioning. I find that parents of severely autistic individuals are also bad for this, that we're not real autistics because we don't have the same learning disabilities their kids do and thus shouldn't get any support. Everyone's a little bit autistic. Asperger's isn't autism. My girlfriend says you can't lie, the duck I can't. Face with tears of joy. So the thing about autism is, or being shocked when I tell them, only slightly worse than folks who start to coddle me, talk down, like, I've figured out coping skills and can non-visibly stim when needed. I appreciate that you think we're all a little like that, but it can be downright debilitating from time to time. If I'm asking you to say something a different way, I don't want a ducking cookie for discreetly rejecting your word soup. I want to understand and move on in the convo, and duck anyone who throws around the term Aspie in a derogatory manner. High-functioning autism equals savant. It just means you're smarter than everyone else. Just because I'm autistic doesn't mean I can't fail both chem and math. Being diagnosed doesn't instantly make you smart. I'm dumb and autistic. The infuriating thing is that people keep calling me an autist. I don't even paint. Are you vaccinated? I've got a friend who I recently learned had mild social-related autism. The infuriating thing is that people treat him differently now even though they didn't know for years. What difference does it make to you? The one thing where my autism really expresses itself is food. There's only a very short list of food that I like and can cook myself. You won't see me in restaurants or trying out new food. When I mention this to other people, too often their answer is, just push yourself to eat it and you'll like it. No, just no. If it was this easy, autism wouldn't be recognized as a handicap. You're just making excuses. Just try harder. A major portion of autism for some comes in the form of executive functioning deficits. Problem is, when you're not visibly autistic the vast majority of the time, it's easy to assume, even towards myself, that when things just don't get done I must just be a lazy asshole. It gets pretty disheartening because I do try, but things like task management, memory, a perception of time, ACT are such core parts of being human that it's hard to believe that I could somehow just be unable to get myself to actually do things. More generally, people just have very narrow ideas of autism symptoms. Not that I blame them. Can't expect people to know all about a disorder that doesn't affect their life, leading to you seem like a pleasant person to be around. Not autistic or you never flap your hands. You're not autistic. Just try me, I will lol. Or you aren't obsessing over trains or stamps or something. You're not autistic. I do have special interests but they're more transient than that. Also, just something a lot of people don't realize. It's generally thought that there's a connection between ADD and autism because so many symptoms actually overlap. We are all stupid. That explains a lot, like seriously, or when they think I don't have feelings and say really rude things about me right next to me. That's why I hate my family. They change autistic person to person with autism. Congratulations, you just made a sentence double as long for no reason. Being autistic is worse than being dead actually. No, I wouldn't like to be dead. I already have a good life, with good education. At least I'm vaccinated. I get tired of so many women asking, yeah, you like that, you ducking retard? There aren't any. I actively avoid discussing it with anyone I'm not very close to and generally have no reason to. I always did well academically growing up because I have a good memory. So by the time I had any sort of diagnosis I'd learned to blend in. I'd rather be seen as a little odd every now and again than have my every action misstep related back to being autistic, or be treated differently than everyone else. A lady found out about my autism and patted me in the head in response. I was 15. But you have a girlfriend, play sports, drink. Am I just supposed to give up and stay inside? I absolutely hate it when people look at me and tilt their head and talk to me like I'm a dog or a small child. Bruh, leave me alone. I have average mental capability. If anything, they're under average mental capability for thinking that autism makes you dumb. Weirdly enough, for a learning disability, it makes people assume I'm much more intelligent than I really am. The socially awkward genius stereotype doesn't mean we're all Rain Man, you guys. Well, recently a fellow Redditor thought he could PM me the R word because I outed myself as having autism. He then proceeded to stalk some of my posts to use other slurs or to say I was spurging out. It's a weird misconception that people on the internet have that tackling and insulting people is an acceptable thing to do. Of course I reported him and he's now banned from Reddit.